What's up everyone, welcome to another review. What's up everyone, welcome to another review, twice upon a time. Haha, see what I did there? Anyway, yes, so we are reviewing Doctor Who Eaglemoss part 120, and this is the first Doctor, although this one is slightly different to the original release of the first Doctor, of course, because this is David Bradley from the Christmas episode that we had last year. Now unfortunately you can probably already see this, there is a bit of paint bleed on the figure. It looks like he has something black coming out of his nose. A little bit disappointed. I did see it in the packaging when I bought it from the newsagent, but to be honest it's the only one they had, so it was this or nothing. But that aside, it does actually represent David Bradley and William Hartnell together. I think that's really good. Of course I haven't actually got the first Doctor release, so I can't actually compare, but you can see from, you know, the figure's face that it is kind of David Bradley's sculpt, you know, coming through, which is really nice. It's a good touch. So I'm just going to rotate the figure around. You can see all the detailing. It is really nice to finally have a representation of the first Doctor in my collection. I missed out on the first Doctor, which came out quite some while ago now. It's quite a while ago, so you know it is good to have. I'll keep rotating it around here. As you can see, the colours are all fantastic. The paint job on the actual costume is really good, really detailed. And of course he's got his signature pose of him holding his, you know, collars of his coat, and he's probably thinking about some plan to, you know, stop the Daleks or whatever. Of course the figure has his hat on as well, and I think that's a nice touch. It just adds to that kind of appearance. He really, although obviously it's technically the Doctor from the 10th planet, this always reminds me of a Doctor from the Unearthly Child, because he's wearing his cloak and his hat, which always, you know, makes me think of that story. Now as well, unfortunately on this figure again, I've had a bit of unluckiness, because the sticker, if I can show you here, it says the first Doctor, twice upon a time, hasn't been stuck down very well. It's definitely not in the middle of the plinth, and as you can see it is actually sticking out a little bit there as well. So quality control not so good on this particular figure. I'm sure it is probably just my one that got messed up. But if you are going to Forbidden Planet, or you know, wherever you go to get yours, do check it and make sure it's okay, maybe before purchasing it. Obviously if you get it sent to you in the post, there's not much you can really do, but maybe if you guys have this one and you have the same problems, let me know, and then maybe we can all get in touch with Eaglemoss and they might possibly send us out a new one. Wouldn't have thought so, but could be worth trying. So that's the figure. Let's have a look at the magazine that it comes with. So this is the front page of the magazine that comes with issue 120. The first Doctor. Something has gone wrong with time. Let's have a little look in the inside. So on the first page you've got the contents page, and that obviously tells you what's coming up in the magazine. Here it says David Bradley is the Doctor, and I do think this particular picture here is fantastic. He really does look like the first Doctor. I think the only issue I have with David Bradley portraying the first Doctor is that his voice isn't quite William Hartnell's, but the visualization of it all is just fantastic, and there's so much more I think they can really do with David Bradley in the future, hopefully. Moving on, we've got the detailing of the figure itself, and of course you can see David Bradley in all his glory there. Again, like I said, it really does just look fantastic to have, you know, so much colour on the first Doctor, even though it is primarily dark colours. You know, you've got your blacks, your whites, your greys and the slight red. It's just nice to have him so vibrant and colourful on a page. And then we've got a bit more here about obviously the first Doctor, and also the Christmas special. There's also a lot of information there about how they recorded it, and of course it's just a really good read. One thing I can say about Eaglemoss, they always give you a really good magazine to kind of read. So in my opinion, it's always worth getting the magazines, because they really are, you know, they're worth every penny. And then moving on to the middle page, we've got double exposure. which is a little article here about obviously having both Doctors in one story. Of course, we've had this numerous times over the past 53, 54 years, and it's something that they don't do too often, but when they do it, it is normally quite a spectacular occurrence. So I look forward to the next time they do it. Moving on here, we've got more about the story. Also includes up on the top there the Dalek that's in the story, and it actually features the new Doctor, Jodie Whittaker, as well, who of course makes her debut very briefly in this story. It's also worth noting, there's a little bit here that says First Impressions, and it's actually got Richard Hurdnall, who played the first Doctor in the Five Doctors story. Of course, you've actually got the first Doctor in the Three Doctors, but you hardly ever see him because unfortunately he was very ill during recording, and they just pretty much used a video of him in that. But it was still used really, really well. They also mention how the first Doctor here is seen in the name of a Doctor, and that was like CGI footage. And then you've also got the Doctor in the Day of a Doctor, again down here, and of course in Listen, when the Doctor's a child, supposedly that's William Hartnell as a kid. And then this page here, all about 2015, all the merch that we had. It's a funny old year for merchandise. I feel some of it really declined quite rapidly, really, since Character Options stopped making their classic line of Doctor Who figures. The last page here is the big ask, and it's we head to the snowy Antarctic in search of the answers to these puzzles raised by the adventure in Twice Upon a Time. I won't read out the answers, but the questions anyway are: why doesn't the first Doctor recognise sonic devices? How can time stop but Doctors don't? Is this Christmas armistice of World War I really the only time it happened? Now, I'm pretty sure that is the only time it happened, but it's, you know, it's one of those historic things, and I'm glad Doctor Who has been a part of it. And of course, the final page here is all about Peter Capaldi and him leaving Doctor Who behind. So, looking at the back, the next issue, issue 121, is of the Monks, which I will be skipping purely because it's new series and I don't collect the new series stuff at the moment, so I'm all about the classics. So nothing for the next 2 weeks. We'll see what comes out in issue 122. Hopefully it will be classic so I can buy and review it. So thanks a lot for watching this video, you guys. I will see you all again very, very soon. Until then, take care of yourselves. Bye for now.